What's up, guys? Today I'm borrowing my brother's Ford Fiesta ST, and I'm going to show you guys around this little gem and share my 5 favorite design features of the 2018 Fiesta ST. This is the outgoing model, the 2018. The US will not be getting the newer one, only Europe will, which is a shame, but also I think it kind of makes these a little bit more special. They're super fun to drive, they handle amazingly. I think they look pretty cool as well. So let's dive in and take a closer look at the 2018 Ford Fiesta ST. The first thing I really love about the design of this car, and it's an optional item, is the design of these Recaro seats. They're really cool looking seats, and they're really sporty when you sit in them. They really hug you. They're really good and appropriate for the kind of cornering and handling that this car is meant to do. So that's the first design feature of the Fiesta ST that gets a nod from me. The next feature that I really love on the Fiesta ST, which is sort of just only a trim edition for the ST, which is a sport version of the Fiesta, is this rear spoiler right here. It's not much, but it adds a lot of really cool sportiness to the car, which is pretty awesome, and it almost feels like it was meant to always be like this and not the regular Fiesta. So that's another really cool design feature that gives it sort of that sporty hot hatch look. And while we're at the rear, the next feature that I want to highlight is the cool sort of bottom half of the rear bumper cover and the diffuser. Gives it this really cool sporty look, and especially if you look at it from the rear or any sort of 3/4 angle from the back, it looks really sporty. It looks like it just wants to go. Every time I look at it, it just gives me that feeling, like makes me hear the exhaust note in my head, and I think that's a really cool feature. Again, another one of those things that makes you feel like it was originally designed like this and it was meant to always be in the ST trim. The next feature that I'm going to highlight are the wheels, and they may not seem like much, and the design of the wheels is not anything super special, but in car design, proportions are everything, and something as little as the size of the wheel, the color of the wheel, the design of it, and how it relates to the rest of the design, the spacing of it, can make or break the look of a car. And this is a perfect example because you're looking at the Fiesta ST and you compare it to the regular Fiesta, and you can see how much of a difference the wheels, the wheel gaps, the ride height of the car, all these little adjustments can make in making it look sporty or like a little tiny city economical car. The design of the wheels goes hand in hand in creating that awesome hot hatch look that I love about the Fiesta ST. And finally, probably my favorite of all design features of the Fiesta ST, again going back to the subject of proportion, is the silhouette of the car. And this is another area where you can compare the silhouette of the Fiesta ST to the normal Fiesta, and you'll almost feel like they're two completely different cars. I just feel like the designers did a really good job of creating a design profile that can resonate sportiness and the ultimate hot hatch. For a car that's meant to be the sporty version of the super cheap, super economical Fiesta, it looks very much in place. It looks like, again, it was meant to always be the hot hatch that it is. The fast looking silhouette of the car, starting from the front and how the front of the bumper cover rakes in, and the angle of the hood all the way back, the tension on the roofline, and ending tapering off and away onto the rear spoiler, and the way the design drapes down, again with the side skirts and the trim at the back with the diffuser. Everything gives that amazing sporty vibe. It's just super cool. So those are my 5 favorite visual design features of the Fiesta ST, but I don't think you can talk about the ST without mentioning the driving experience. Starting from when you get into the seats and how everything surrounds you, your interior elements come around and they meet you. It feels like a sporty car. Unlike the Golf GTI or the Civic Si, it doesn't feel like a regular car that was turned into a sports car. It feels like you're surrounded by your elements the way you're supposed to be in a sports car, even in a supercar, and I love that. I love that from the moment I got into it. But the fun only starts when you turn on the engine. The transmission is amazing. It's pretty quick as well. There's not much turbo lag. The car only weighs 2,700 pounds, which is amazing. The suspension work is great, and it's just a lot of fun considering how much money you're putting into a car like this. The only thing left for us to do now is to hop in and go have some fun. Alright, so let's go for a ride in the Ford Fiesta ST. Of all the design features of the Fiesta ST, how cool it looks all around from the inside to the outside, and how unassuming it is, what a sleeper it is. The coolest part of it is just how it makes you feel when you're driving it. It's really easy to drive. It's very much an immersive experience. The transmission is amazing. The clutch is really easy. It's comfortable when you want it to be, and it's sporty when it has to be. Again, the most rewarding part of owning a Ford Fiesta ST is being able to do cool shit with it. Oh my god. The car is super lightweight. It's tiny, so you feel really close and in touch with the road around you. It's just a blast to drive. It's really fun. It grips really well around the corners. It accelerates with the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, about 200 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. For a car this size, that's pretty good. And again, it may not be the most powerful car in the world. It may not be doing burnouts or drifts, but for what it is, it's amazing. Like, it's a value that is underappreciated beyond my comprehension, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it makes it more of a thrill for those who do own it and enjoy it like my brother does, and maybe hopefully one day I will. Again, with everything else I mentioned, the most impressive part of the whole experience is just being behind the wheel and experiencing all the inputs that it gives you. Another one of my favorite cars, another one of those sleeper cars that not everybody appreciates yet. That's awesome. So much character, so much personality. Alright, so I hope you guys liked that video. That's the Ford Fiesta ST for you, and until next time, peace.